The STEM Society.
Welcome back to the STEM Society. My name is Cole Jackson. And if you're new here, just to give you a heads up, I do commentary on music news, I do critiques on new releases, and I talk about hip hop culture in general. I'm very unfiltered. I'm going to say a lot of things that may disrespect people or may disrespect you. So, with that being said, episode 100 is live. That's right. I've made it to 100 episodes. And this is a great day. I cannot believe it, man. 100 episodes in the bag. Pat myself on the back. Good job, me. This has been a very long journey starting this podcast in the States over in Birmingham, Alabama, and now I live in London. And I've been doing the show from London for the last 8-9 months. It's been an interesting journey, and I still have a long ways to go. But for all of you people who have supported me since the first episode, thank you. I really appreciate it. There have been some it's been a roller coaster ride in general. Ups and downs through the whole thing. Last week I had one of my first major accomplishments, which was being ranked in music news podcast. Couldn't believe that happened, and more is going to happen, I promise you. But thank you guys for supporting me through all of this shit, man. I've had some day ones, and for all of y'all who consistently give me comments and consistently give me critiques and who hit me up in the DMs, thank you. I don't think I could still be doing this if it wasn't for y'all. This show has gone through different iterations, and I'm improving it on a regular basis, and it's stuff that I always change, but I never stopped loving doing this, and my goal ultimately is to be the biggest hip hop music commentator, around. And I'm not gonna stop until I hit that. So I know a lot of people comment about the numbers and the views and the subs and all the other shit. Hey, bruh, I'm just happy to be where I'm at. So for everybody who supported me through this journey, thank you. And I promise you things are going to get better. And I promise you I'm going to continue to give you the content that you love. So this week has been pretty interesting. I went to go see Sinners last night. Phenomenal movie. It's great. I had a great time. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of themes in there that I could relate to because I am an American living in London. And a lot of those themes had a lot to do with some racism here or some cultural appropriation there. Like some of that stuff that was going on in the movie I could relate to because I'm from Alabama. To see how Londoners, gasped at some of the stuff that was being said, or how some Londoners was kind of like at awe about how abrasive the racism was hilarious to me. I was just looking around and just like, y'all just don't get it. Like I'm from that space, and it's still like that. But overall, the movie is more than just a vampire movie. It has a lot more to do about music, how music has been a staple in Black culture for so long, how the past has affected like the present or will affect the future when it comes to music, blues music at that. And overall, the vampires, well, I don't want to spoil it. Let me just say this. The vampires are actually a meaning for something else that happens when it comes to Black people and white people. I'll just put that out there like that. I don't want to spoil too much because I know people hate spoilers. But I love the movie, man. I think we need to start putting respect on Michael B. Jordan's name. I think this is one of his best acting performances I've ever seen. Like, he actually did a great job. I think Ryan Coogler we should be speaking about him more because I think he did a phenomenal job. He wrote this movie and he directed it. Man, that shit was fire. He just did a great job. And we got to start putting him in the mix when it comes to great new directors. This is an original IP, which means he didn't do anything from a franchise or he didn't reboot another movie. This is all his creation. And you can kind of see where he got inspiration from other vampire movies. But at the end of the day, it's a lot more to it than just vampires or horror movie. Like, there's some really deep themes going on in this movie that people should pay attention to. And it ain't like Jordan Peele's bullshit because that dude just does weird. He just makes weird shit look cool. Ryan Coogler is taking something that he enjoys from his history, from his actual family heritage when it comes to, because he said this movie was inspired by an uncle of his. Go watch some of the interviews. It's great. And, he just picks a lot of different things and he puts it in the movie and he makes it palatable. Like Jordan Peele don't do that shit. I'm sorry. Once we get past Get Out, everything Jordan Peele does is just like, I have no idea what this nigga's talking about. It's over my head. So with all that being said, phenomenal movie. Go out and see it. It is completely worth your time. I hope this nigga knocks it out the box. It's projected to do like $45 million first week. I don't know what the budget was, but if he's doing that first weekend, I'm pretty sure people are going to go back the next weekend. I want to go see it a second time. So go out and see Sinners if you haven't seen it yet. Also, don't forget, I have playlists. I update my playlist every week. I have 2 playlists. The first one is called In the Loop, where I give you guys some hip hop, some new age rap. I just get in different pockets. There's some R&B mixed in there. It is updated every Monday, and it is a phenomenal playlist. If you're looking for new artists to listen to, you're going to get that out of that playlist, because I make sure that I focus on people who haven't really been talked about enough, or independent artists that's trying to get their name out there. It's a great playlist for anybody who wants to hear what new sound is out there and you want to hear something different outside of what mainstream artists are doing. I also have another playlist called Off License Flows, where if you're looking to get into UK rap, this is where you're going to get a lot of the artists from the grime scene, from soul, from UK rap scene, all of that. Off License Flows is what I'm picking up on while I'm here in London, covering music and just some of the stuff that I feel like is really popping out here in these streets. These playlists are here to be able to give you guys something fresh, something new, and something that you haven't heard. And I'm always open to ideas. If you want to shoot me an artist that you haven't heard of or that's not on the playlist, shoot them to me. I want to hear this music. If I like it, I'll throw it on the playlist, and if I don't, I won't. But none of this shit is on some payola shit. I'm not getting paid from anybody. It's just me enjoying music and sharing what I enjoy with you. Again, the name of the playlist, they're both on Spotify. There is the In the Loop playlist. It's Cole Jackson Presents In the Loop. I don't know if I need to change the name or not, because I don't think some people are finding it. And the other one is Off License Flows. That's the UK side of things, and and In the Loop is more of the more of the American side of shit. So make sure y'all are checking those out, man. I do a lot of due diligence to put those together. I listen to a lot of music, and I want you guys to discover new artists and new sounds. I don't really have anything else for any small talk. I know I haven't been putting out critiques, and I got to put out some critiques because there's been some new music that dropped. Westside Gunn dropped something new. Chip finally dropped his new album, which I've listened to and I think is pretty good, but I need a second time through. And we finally got Jid, who dropped his newest single called Work. Those have been the 3 main things I've been listening to. Some little side projects that I've been listening to as well, but I'm going to do a whole episode with just music critiques. I want to do something called Best of the Week or Best Albums of this week or albums you should be listening to this week. So as soon as I can figure out what I'm going to name the segment and put it to itself, I'll start putting those critiques out on their own. With that being said, all the small talk is out of the way. Let's get into some news.
Music news.
If I see another Mount Rushmore on my timeline, I'm going to jump out of a fucking building. Look, I'm doing this before we get into the news. Hey, man, I get it. Y'all want to put y'all Mount Rushmores up here and tell me who the 4 best people in any fucking genre or any fucking state or whatever is. I don't care anymore. Y'all have dragged this through the ground. No more Mount Rushmore. When we get into May, I want it to be gone. Let's be done with these Mount Rushmores. And a lot of y'all takes, newsflash, a lot of y'all Mount Rushmore takes are trash. Hot 97 just did one about New York, and that shit was garbage. Stop putting this bullshit out, bruh. Nobody wants to see these fucking terrible takes on the timeline no more. Y'all sit up here and argue about mid-ass rappers and mid-ass music and mid-ass bullshit. Stop it. I don't want to I don't want to see not one more fucking Mount Rushmore ever. in my life. We did this shit in 2024. What are y'all stop doing this shit. Let it go. All right, speaking of letting it go, my first story is Punch and Curtis King sat down for a 3-hour plus interview. Now, let me be the first one to tell you guys, I have not watched this full interview, and I got to a point where I was just like, this is cool, but let me just get the short version of this. So I went and did whatever any podcaster would do. They looked at the clips. So I went and watched clips for shit that were informative. I'm going to go back and watch the full interview. Curtis King was blessed with sitting down with Punch, though, and I thought that was dope. But there was a few things that came out, like the origin of the Drake-Kendrick beef. Now, Punch says the initial tension came from the Control verse. Surprise? I'm not. Which I think there was another podcaster. I think it was Joe Budden who sat up there and diminished the Control verse. Was it? No. It wasn't Joe. I think it was B-Dot. I think B-Dot sat up here and diminished and said, man, the Control verse wasn't that big, or people wasn't fucking with the Control verse that heavy. And it looks like it was. Punch was explaining how this was more of a competition thing, and it looks like Drake took it a little too personal. I'm not surprised at this at all. If anybody remembers that Control verse, everybody and their mama had a response for that shit. That shit was monumental. I don't think people got that competitive in a very long time, and I'm so happy that was one of the things that Punch talked about and said, yeah, this is really kind of the origin story of where the beef came from. I'm not shocked at all. Kendrick went crazy on that, but I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked one bit that started a little bit of a rivalry, because you can go back and see old interviews where Drake keeps talking about how, yeah, you guys keep talking about this shit, but look at me, I'm Drake and I'm doing all these great things, and he's Kendrick, he came on tour with me, so on and so forth. I love the fact that is the origin story for their beef, and I really wish that we would get more origin stories like that. Like, we really should get more of like where some of this stuff sparked from. We think we know, but we really don't know. But I like that. That was one point that I thought was pretty cool, and that was one clip that I caught online. Another thing that they pointed out in an interview was Euphoria was actually longer and had more intense content on there. Now, I need y'all to release the dot cut. I need the dot cut of Euphoria. I want to hear what he said. Punch went into saying, we removed a lot of those things because we didn't want it to go that far. It wouldn't be beneficial for Kendrick if we left everything in there. I'm sorry, but this is hip hop. I want to hear all of it. And plus, we've kind of passed the beef. I want to hear, like, we get all these leaked songs on social media right now, which is really just AI bullshit. I need to hear the long extended version of Euphoria, and I want to hear what he actually has to say. Now, for me, Euphoria is one of the better songs that came out throughout the beef, and I think, well, that's actually, to me, that's the best song. I know y'all sitting up here like, not like us. Euphoria, he laid out everybody. He laid out everything. He told what was going to happen if we went to war. He gave him a warning. He just, I love Euphoria. But if it was a longer version of that, I want to hear it. I want to see what Kendrick had to say, and I want to hear what Kendrick touched on in that song. It only makes sense for us to be able to get that, right? Like, somebody somewhere has that, and I'm pretty sure it'll get leaked somewhere, since Punch already kind of said, hey, like, we did it. There's got to be a master somewhere hanging around, and I think somebody's going to leak it. I want to hear the leaked version. If K-Dot wanted to get all of this stuff off of his chest, they should have let that song go. It couldn't have been no worse than the other stuff that he came out with. 616 in LA, even freaking Meet the Grams, like, he addressed that nigga in so many different ways. I don't think anything could be worse than what he did in Meet the Grams. I think Meet the Grams is a whew. He dissected that nigga. So is Euphoria more on that line of things, or what? Did he dissect him in that? What did he say? I really want to know. That's the cool thing about interviews like this, and I'm glad Punch actually got out and kind of said something about all of this stuff. Like, I thought I was tired of listening to this stuff, but after hearing some of the stuff Punch was talking about, and also coming across some of these clips, it's way deeper than what we thought it was. And I like that. I wanna know more about this beef. I want the story from Kendrick himself. Like, I want Kendrick to sit down and actually do a real interview with a hip hop source or hip hop platform and kind of give us his side of the story, because nobody's talking enough about what has been going on or what went on behind the scenes and how now Kendrick's the king. He's the king of hip hop now. The last thing that I got from this interview was Punch saying he had a respect for Drake as an MC and as pen game and everything. And I thought that was dope, man. I think a lot of us on social media still to this day are putting this in a situation where it's just like you gotta like one or the other. You can't respect each other. The rules that y'all put out here for these hip hop beefs are crazy, but I like the fact that Punch was like, yo, I respect his songwriting ability. I respect his pen. I respect him as an MC. Like, he's actually all right. And I thought that was cool. He ain't got no personal animosity towards Drake. That's the kind of shit that you want to hear when it comes to like real hip hop shit. Like, a lot of y'all on social media say a lot of dumb shit because y'all feel like it's going to make you feel bigger than that person. But at the end of the day, Punch was a man about it. And he was like, yo, I respect the nigga's pen. I respect him as an MC. I have respect for him. I don't hate him. He ain't did nothing to me. If Punch can come out and say that, because Punch is TDE to the day he die, I already know that. But if Punch can come out here and say that, I think more people should be able to do the same thing, bro. Like, let's get past this. Let's move past it. Let's stop getting in a place where y'all are so tribal, territorial, and shit like that, bro. Like who you like, don't be an asshole about it. Those were the things that jumped out to me on the timeline, and I thought those were some very interesting points that they had. Shout out to Curtis King once again for getting that Punch interview. Lil Wayne had an interview this week with Rolling Stone, and I read it because it's not 3 hours long and I can actually read. Okay, I read pretty good, not that well. Anyway, he had an interview with Rolling Stone, and there was some interesting shit in there, bro. He gets into the Super Bowl situation and the NFL. So he brought up the fact that the NFL apologized to him for setting him up. He was like, he felt like they was positioning him to get the job or be the Super Bowl halftime performance. That's why he was doing so many of these public outings and the Tom Brady shit. He's like, you never see me in these types of places. And I was there because I felt like they was positioning me in a place where I was going to do the halftime Super Bowl. He said the NFL apologized, which means that he got curved, that they played him. And he didn't have any he wasn't publicly trying to trash Kendrick Lamar's performance himself. He said he called Kendrick before the show and showed him some love. I'm going to be real with y'all. Some of that I feel like is true, but some of that is cap too, bro. I'm sorry. This whole thing about the NFL apologizing to him, I love Wayne. First and foremost, I love Wayne, but I don't feel like that they apologized to him for that. Wayne lives in a bubble, and he lives in his own world. Like, he lives in this universe. It's like he lives in Fortnite or some shit. And there are times when I think people say things to Wayne, and he takes them in a different direction. Like, they might have said, hey, we were mistaken in letting you think that you were going to be the halftime Super Bowl performer. And he probably was like, oh, so y'all apologizing. That's not my good Wayne voice. Oh, y'all apologizing, Woody. No, we didn't mean for you to think that we were going to put you at the halftime Super Bowl performance because you can't perform. Oh, so y'all apologizing. That's how I look at Wayne. Again, I love Wayne. Wayne's the shit. Wayne just lives in this universe that just don't think anything else is really happening. The whole thing with him not trying to trash Kendrick and his performance, that's bullshit. Because you went on and on about the performance and not getting it and felt like nobody seen where you was coming from. You felt like you deserved it because it was New Orleans. Bro, you literally trashed that man getting that job. You went on and on about it on a regular basis. Now, in Wayne's world, in Lil Wayne's world, I think he looked at it as like, hey, it's me, Lil Wayne. I'm the hottest rapper in the world. Everybody should know who I am, and I should have this. And it hurt my feelings, and y'all should feel sad about it. But I don't know why y'all gave it to him, because he ain't from New Orleans. He, Louisiana Fest, so on and so forth. I think Wayne just lives in this bubble where just things just he don't get it. Y'all keep forgetting, Wayne's been rapping since he was like 12. He's been a star since he was 12, 13 years old, bruh. The rest of the world anything that happened in the outside world, outside of his bubble, don't matter because he ain't recognized it. I don't think Wayne was lying. I just think Wayne just don't understand how shit works. When you continue to carry on about something that you didn't get, you're low-key shitting on the man's accomplishment. It should have been me. Why me? Y'all should have had me there. I should have been doing it. You're shitting on the man getting a halftime Super Bowl performance in your city, bruh. You might not see it that way, but that's what it was. To me, I might be looking at it wrong. I might need to go into Wayne's world and figure it out myself. But me personally, Wayne, you was shitting on the man's performance. And just because you called him beforehand and showed him some love don't necessarily mean you didn't shit on everything before that happened. And now you at the point, Wayne also goes into the interview saying he don't want to do it no more. Which I don't blame him. No, nobody want to see you perform at this. Not nobody. I would not like to see Lil Wayne perform at the Super Bowl because I've seen Wayne live. I know what he does. He does this. That's a Lil Wayne concert. That's a Lil Wayne concert. Now, I think I haven't seen him recently, but I've heard the shows are better. I don't know for sure because I haven't been to that version of Wayne's concerts before. But I just didn't want to see a whole 12 minutes of this. I didn't want to see that. So that part of it I thought was funny. And I just felt like Wayne just was being in his own universe when he said all those things. So at another point in the interview, the person interviewing him, I think his name, what's his name? I gotta find it in my notes. His name, Andre G. Andre G makes a reference to Watch the Throne, the Kanye West and Jay-Z album. And Wayne was like, they did an album? That is in the interview. He said they did an album. So they actually, during the interview, play songs from Watch the Throne. And he is dumbfounded. He was like, they did an album together? He didn't even know he didn't know Niggas in Paris. I can't make this shit up. Wayne did not know nothing about Watch the Throne at all. And to be honest with you, I think that is a honest situation. Want to know why? When Wayne didn't know who 21 Savage was, I was like, yeah, he don't live outside of his bubble.
Saying that I don't know who that person was, or maybe mistaking that person for something. I remember I mistake 21 Savage for a damn group. I remember when I was asked,
that does sound
when
like
they asked me group, I
like
said they got 20. I said they got 21 fucking new rappers in one group, and I said, and I was so serious. I was like, man, that's like a new Wu-Tang.
He don't live outside of his bubble. One of the best albums I think Kanye and Jay has ever put out, and Wayne not knowing about it is not a lie. I think he really just did not know that because Wayne, I don't see Wayne doing anything outside of skateboarding, rapping, eating. That's it. Like, I think Wayne gets up in the morning, does about 4 songs, and he'll go skateboard somewhere, and that's it. I really do feel like Wayne did not know. A lot of people on the timeline are saying, man, this nigga cap. If you don't know who 21 Savage is, I'm pretty sure you don't know that Watch the Throne exists. And I feel like he just didn't know Watch the Throne was a real thing. And I wish I could have been there just to see the look on his face because Wayne is, we've seen Wayne in interviews before do this. You know the Wayne face. Wayne has this face when he was just like, for real? They did that. He doesn't go outside like that. And when he goes outside, he's in his bubble. He's just in his bubble. So I don't think it's cap. A lot of people on the timeline, especially major talking heads, was just like, Wayne just be saying anything, or that nigga knew Watch the Throne. I have to disagree. I don't think Wayne knew anything about Watch the Throne, Niggas in Paris. If he ain't on the song, or if he didn't do the album, I don't even think Wayne listens to rap music anymore. I think Wayne listens to a lot of rock, a lot of different. He listens to rock, and I think Wayne probably listens to folk music. It just makes sense for him to listen to folk music. I'm telling you, it just makes sense. He be on some hippie type shit. But I thought that was hilarious that he, in the interview, they was referencing Watch the Throne, and he was just like, nah, Woody. Nah, what you talking about, baby? Watch the Throne. I'm the throne. I'm the throne. I'm the best rapper alive since the best rapper died. That's Wayne. I made that song. That was one of my mixtapes. Wayne is not one of those people who care about trends. He don't care about none of that shit. He just be in his tour bus playing his guitar. Does Wayne know how to play the guitar, by the way? I don't know. That's neither here nor there. What else was in it? What else was in this interview? So finally, the last thing that I got from this interview is he actually talked about the Carter 6. Now here's a quote that he had in the actual interview. He said, "If there's one thing about this album that's different, it's me approaching it like, man, what would I sound like on something with such and such?" And he's discussing the features list and the people that he's got on the album. This is going to be way different than what we're used to when it comes to Wayne. Let me find that feature list really quick. He gives us the feature list, and it looks pretty interesting. I'm reading my notes right here. Here it goes. Miley Cyrus, Machine Gun Kelly, Bono from U2, Elephant Man, Cameron Carter, which is his son, Wyclef Jean, and who else? Kanye is supposed to be doing some production on the album. And Billie Eilish is supposed to have some kind of something to do with the album as well. Like, I think she's like a sample. I don't know what it is, but he gets into why this is going to be different. The Carter 6 is going to be something far removed from what the Carter series has been. I'm being honest with y'all. I haven't given a fuck about a Carter since the Carter 3, Carter 4. I'm tired of the Carter series, bro. Like, I think the Carter series has worn out its welcome a long time ago. I wish he would kind of label some of these albums something different. But I don't really... This gonna sound horrible, but I gotta say it. I don't want no new music from Lil Wayne. I like Lil Wayne on the features. Like, the past 2 years, Lil Wayne has been on a really good feature run. And he's done some really dope features, and he can still rap. But crafting albums... he ain't doing that good. He ain't doing good albums like that no more. I think the last thing I listened to was like the Funeral album. Yeah, it was the Funeral album was the last album I listened to. And I just didn't like it. I wasn't rocking with Wayne like that no more. And I'm not saying Wayne ain't got it. Wayne is always going to be Wayne. He going to always be that dude. He going to always be that nigga for me. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. If you come from the South, you have to fuck with Wayne. It's just in your DNA. But newer version of Wayne with albums just don't hit for me no more. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just the fact that I'm just kind of like past the type of rapping he does. And I think we complain so much about Drake and how he ain't changed in a while. When you look at Wayne's music, he hadn't really got out of the same lane in a long time either. Like, he's still talking about lean and women and parties and all this other stuff. And honestly, bro, like, okay. Like, Wayne hasn't had nothing new to say in a very long time. So I don't know if I'm even trying. I'm not really trying to hear no Carter 6. I'm just not. I love Wayne on these features, and the features that he's been doing has been killing it. It's like they give him a topic, and he just don't. Like, prime example, the Benny the Butcher Big Dog song, he killed that feature for me. Like, he just still, the wordplay is still there, and the how technical he is when it comes to the raps is still there. But a whole album of Wayne just ain't. I don't want 15, 17 songs of Wayne And with this feature list, I know he's going for a different kind of sound and a different type of album. But I don't want Wayne. I don't want another Wayne album. It just ain't something I want to get into no more. Like I don't know, bro. It's Wayne is just. I guess I kind of outgrown Lil Wayne's music. I love to go back to the old shit and listen to the old Lil Wayne shit. I love the old mixtapes because he just got into his bag so hard, and he went so hard during that mixtape era where he was just coming out with everything. But by the time we got to like post him and Birdman breaking up and having this whole problem back and forth, by the time we got to that, bro, like, you know, when he finally came back, it wasn't hitting like that no more. Not for me. Maybe some other people still fuck with it, but like shit, by that time we was fucking with Thug. You know what I'm saying? Young Thug was doing his thing. It kind of took Wayne's place. I'm not saying he's as good as Wayne. I'm just saying he fit that mold and he actually did what Wayne was doing because Wayne was out of commission for a very long time. So I hope there's some people out here who still want to hear the Carter 6. I personally am done with the Carter series. I don't think I want to hear anything else from Wayne but features. That's the only thing that I got, you know, left that I want to hear from him. I think the interview was good because he had a lot to say about, he covered the things that we have been wondering about. The Super Bowl thing and his new album and it's some other things, perspectives that he has as far as like being an adult now and his kids. He goes into a lot more other things. So if you haven't read the interview yet, it's Rolling Stone. It's really good. Go to the website, check it out. Nice read. You get a lot more insight on what's going on with Wayne. All right, last story. Drake and UMG. Yes, it's Drake Watch 2025, guys. I need some theme music and a fucking overlay for this shit. So here recently, Drake has done an amendment on the lawsuit over Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl performance. So a few things that I got from reading this article, because I did not want to go through this whole, I don't read so much legal shit is ridiculous. But 3 things that I pulled from this was, he said even though the word PDF was censored, it's still something that is defamatory towards his character. Which, if I'm being honest, I guess you could say that. Yeah, you could say that. I could see where he's coming from on the lawyer type thing. So that's legitimate because we all know what the song is. It's a very popular song. He also goes into another point saying that over 133 million people seen this and it's just still damaging to who he is and his character. Hey, bruh, you're putting out Nokia right now. If anything is damaging to your character, it's this fucking song that keeps going on in my head, and I want to hear something different. So, yeah, okay, who cares about that? This is the first time that a halftime show has been in part of a defamatory lawsuit, which I think is very interesting. There are people on the timeline that's saying Drake is just being greedy and he's doing anything he can to win the case. I have to agree with them. I think this is... Can we just get to the case? You're going way too far. I know what your lawyers are trying to do. You're trying to use every little thing that UMG has done or been a part of to win this case. Bruh, I get it, man. But damn it, I am so over this news about you and this defamatory bullshit. Let's get on with the case, bruh. Like, you've gotten to the fact where the judge said the discovery is okay, we can do that. And you guys are going to expose some things, which takes me into what else has been said about this whole this new amendment that happened. UMG fired back and they said, yo, this whole thing could backfire because this means we can expose communications that was been going on back and forth. If I'm looking at it correctly, UMG is saying, we're going to expose the niggas that you was trying to downplay. We're going to expose the niggas that you said needed to be silenced. We're going to expose who you talk bad about. This is not going to all work out in your favor, Drake, and you need to stop going this far. And I'm with the smoke. I'm with the shits, bruh. Fuck it. If shit's going to get exposed through UMG, expose it all. I want to be able to hear what this nigga was saying about these different artists. I know he's told UMG to tell to silence a lot of people's music, and I want to know who he talked bad about. I am a messy motherfucker, and I can't wait to hear it. I want to know who he said. I want to hear names. I do, because you know, just like I know, Drake has been out here saying he's been talking real tough in a lot of his music. And you know he has been saying, yo, I got connections, I got ties, I can do, your album won't sell if it's up to me. He said this in his music. So I want to see what kind of dirt UMG is going to put out on him. Now, is it fair? No, but this is the legal system. None of this shit is going to be fair. I want to hear all of it. Put the dirt out. If y'all going to put the dope on the table, put the dope on the table on both sides. Niggas going to get dirty when it comes to money. Both sides. The corporation's going to get dirty when it comes to money. Drake going to get dirty when it comes to money. This lawsuit is going to expose a lot of things. I have been saying this from the very beginning. As soon as this shit came out, that was the first thing I said. People are going to get exposed. It's going to get nasty. It's going to get to a point where you niggas are going to be at awe with some of the things you find out about your favorite rapper and the company that has been backing him for so long. Y'all about to find out all the mess, and it's going to look real shitty on both sides. So with UMG saying that, I think they're trying to goat this nigga into just settling out of court. And I don't think that's off the table yet. I think settling out of court might still happen, especially if UMG plans to expose him for way more than just what we know as far as like music is concerned. When they talk about personal communications back and forth between the company and Drake, there's probably some other things that may leak out that he don't want out there. And right now I'm speculating my ass off, but I labels are dirty and they're trash and they do horrible things. And I think instead of just exposing the business side of what Drake was asking to happen, or exposing the bot situation, or exposing the stream farms, which is a real thing, I think they're going to really get into some, you sleeping with this nigga's girl, or you told us to quiet this album because it was going to do better than this last album, or we took your feature off of that song because your request. It's a lot of shady shit that's going to come out through this whole thing. And I don't know if that's going to fare well for Drake's career, because he mentioned on Aiden Ross's stream, he's got an album that's dropping. He's been working on a new album. And if that's the case, bruh, you about to get fucked up. But side note, we thought that about that before he dropped Sexy Songs for You, and he still has the number 2 song in the country. So what do I know? Maybe he can overcome that, because there's no way UMG is pushing bots or getting behind his music like that. Like, I just don't feel like they're pushing this song like that. I think I'm not saying it's 100% organic, but I don't think that they're 100% doing what they used to do for Drake to be able to be at the top of the food chain. I think a lot of this has to do with he came out with some bops and people fuck with it. Drake is going to always have a core fan base no matter what. And I just feel like at this point, some of this shit is just nature. Drake drops something, people gravitate to it. It ends up being top 5, top 10 in Billboard. It's just wash, rinse, and repeat when it comes to music fans. So maybe it's more to it than that. I don't know. Drake's legal team is using the Joe Budden podcast clip of Joe Budden talking about Kendrick Lamar using bots. You know, the clip where he's just like, I don't care about Kendrick used bots. You didn't know he used bots, and so on and so forth. So when that got out there, everybody on the timeline who listens to the Joe Budden podcast, all it says refer to the opening crawl, which is thoughts, views, and opinions, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, that's a desperate move, and that's a desperate play, if we're being honest, bruh. Using the Joe Budden podcast in your lawsuit, nasty work, bruh. Nasty work. Joe Budden got enough going on. Y'all tend to forget he's fighting for his life over there, trying to keep his spot over in his apartment complex, because they're suing him still for that whole situation, for that news situation. But bringing the Joe Budden podcast into the lawsuit just means that they still love each other. They're two play cousins that still like to DM each other and show love. Stop the bullshit, man. When are we gonna get this Joe Budden Drake interview? Because I think this is inevitable. This is going to happen eventually. It's got to happen. Drake and Joe got to sit down with each other because I know they don't hate each other like that for real. They are play cousins. They have been play cousins for years. We need to go ahead and get this out of the way. I think once we get past the UMG situation and once Drake puts out his new album, I think Drake and Joe should sit down and have an interview and some tea and dap each other up and say how much they love each other and go about their way. Because using the Joe Budden podcast in your lawsuit is funny, but it's desperate and it's tired and I know Joe is having a blast with seeing that shit. But those are the things that I got from the new update or the amendment to the lawsuit. I don't have a date on when this trial is supposed to start. I know the discovery shit is supposed to happen here in the next few weeks. I'm ready to get this over with because I'm ready to get to the mess. I'm ready to see who gets exposed. I'm ready to see what conversations they're going to tell. And I can't wait to see whose fault is it that we didn't get certain songs. And I'm telling you 9 times out of 10, it's probably Drake's fault that we didn't get particular songs that came out. With that being said, guys, thank you for joining me for another episode, my 100th episode. It was amazing. I appreciate you guys for sticking with me through everything. It's been a great journey, and I hope we can get to 100 more. I'm happy, man. I'm appreciative of where I'm at and what I've been going through. The journey has been hard. I'm still going through the journey, but thank you guys for being a part of the journey as well. It has been an interesting 100 episodes, and I can't wait to see what we do for the next 100 more. If you guys have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. Let me know how you feel. Give me some headlines. Give me some music. Give me anything. And also support the Patreon. I have a Patreon. Bonus content, always go there first. So please support the Patreon when you have an opportunity to. It's $1 to get in. I think y'all got $1. It's $1 to get in. What else? That's all I really got, bruh. Y'all have been amazing. I love y'all. You have really made my life a whole lot more interesting than what it used to be. But with that being said, guys, take care of yourself. I love you. And peace out.